You want to start selling on Amazon, but you are overwhelmed by the extreme nature of the platform. You got private label, you got wholesale, you got book selling, you have retail arbitrage, you have online arbitrage. There's so many things. You have no clue what any of them mean. But today, hopefully, I can clear up some of that confusion and teach you guys the best way possible to begin selling on Amazon. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a bunch of different business models when selling on Amazon. There's book selling, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, private label, and probably some other ones I can't even think about right now. The one that I began with was book selling. Pretty much you go to garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, wherever you can find books, get them for free from your neighbors. You scan them with a barcode scanner and a scouting app like Scoutly or Scout IQ, and you see what books are profitable. You pack them all in a box and you ship them to an Amazon FBA warehouse where, once the customer places an order for that book that you thrifted, Amazon ships it and sends it right to their house. Then every 2 weeks, you get paid. The business models that I'm currently running right now are retail and online arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is when you go into retail stores like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and you basically just scan things on the Amazon seller app or whatever scouting service you're using, and you just see if you can find some sort of arbitrage in those retail stores. Like say you find a Lego that's 30% off, but on Amazon, it's selling for, 50% more than it is in store. Once you can see that it's actually profitable, then you buy all of those in bulk from the store. And then online arbitrage is kind of the same thing. It's just you're doing it on those online websites for the retail stores like Amazon, Target online, Walmart online, Best Buy online. You just go to the websites, buy stuff online, get shipped right to your house, and then you just ship it right back to Amazon or to the customer if you're doing merchant fulfilled orders. Now the next business model, which is wholesaling, is basically when you buy things in bulk from a distributor or a wholesale and then you sell them on Amazon. Wholesalers and distributors are going to have a lot cheaper prices than retail stores because, well, you're buying stuff in bulk and it's like a legitimate business model. Like it's more of a proper business, and sometimes they require like business addresses. Sometimes they won't ship to residential addresses, but that's like a whole other story that I'm not too versed in, so I can't really speak out about it as much. But in like terms of easiness, it kind of starts with book selling, retail online arbitrage, wholesaling, and then the final one, which we're going to talk about right now, which is private label. I actually scratched that. Wholesaling and private labeling, it kind of just depends what your strengths and weaknesses are. Might be easier one over the other for you, but basically what private labeling is when you buy stuff in bulk from manufacturers like Alibaba or some that you can find in America, and pretty much you just slap your brand name on it. You slap your private label onto the product. Like if someone were to manufacture these wallets in bulk, they slap their label right there. That's a private label product that they can sell on Amazon as their very own. So that one's all about brand building. But those are pretty much just the main business models that I can think of right now when it comes to selling on Amazon. So when it comes down to which business model you should begin with when selling on Amazon, I would have to 100% hands down, like all my life, say that you need to start out by selling books. It may not be too flashy to start out with. You may be looking at some of the flips that I make, purchasing from stores like Walmart and then just flipping them for crazy profits right now. And yeah, that can be flashy, but you would not be able to do the same thing that I am if you're a brand new seller. And I'll get into that in a second. Basically, you should start selling books because 1, it's cheap, 2, it's easy. I'm pretty sure when I started books, my startup cost was like $120. That's all I needed to invest to begin my book business. I think that even included inventory. But even then, like inventory you can get for free, you can get for quarters. Book reselling business is cheap. I went to thrift stores and I paid $1.25 a book. I went to garage sales, I paid 25 cents a book. I even posted on places like Facebook and Craigslist and the Nextdoor app, and I told people that I was taking book donations. So literally my neighbors were giving me books for free that would turn into money once I sent them to Amazon. It's such a cheap and brainless way to start selling on Amazon. Like the difference between book selling and stuff that I'm doing right now, like retail arbitrage, is that if you screw up book selling, you're only gonna lose like $20. Whereas if I screw up like some huge retail arbitrage thing that costed me $170 to buy and I sold it for like $500, like if I screw up with that, like in the shipment or something like that, I'm down 175 bucks, potentially 500 bucks that I could have made on the sale. If you screw up a book shipment, what? Your total cost of goods is like $6 plus like $8 shipping to get to Amazon. Like that's a what? $20 mistake? $20 mistakes, I don't look at them as necessarily mistakes. I look at them as learning opportunities. Yeah, if I screw up and I lose $500, I'm gonna learn out of it. But I'd rather get the same knowledge only losing $20. Like I screwed up so much when I began selling on Amazon, especially with books, and I'm just glad that it was books and not some other product. Plus another way I like to look at it is if you start selling books on Amazon, you kind of get the feeling of how the whole Amazon system works and how FBA works and customer reviews works and everything like that, just to find out if you really enjoy this business. Because trust me, everyone can sell on eBay. Not everyone can sell on Amazon. You got to be able to deal with a lot of Karens. You got to be a customer's bitch every once in a while. Like there's a lot of stuff that you got to do that you don't have to do on other selling platforms. You have to maintain your account. You have to keep it in good condition. You really just have to be a hawk over your Amazon business. So I think that starting out with books would be the best way to begin because you'll learn the ropes of selling on Amazon. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, if you buy things from Walmart or Target and you try to sell them like the way I sell them, you're not going to be able to beginning. The number one reason for this is because you have not unlocked Buy Box. When you are a new seller, you do not have access to Amazon Buy Box. If you don't know what Amazon Buy Box is, basically when you go into Amazon and you try to make a purchase, there's the Buy Now button and the Add to Cart button. The Buy Now button is one of the most ingenious things that Amazon has created. It's trademarked, it's fucking patent. I don't know the correct terms, but they own it. They own the Buy Now button. And I forget the statistic, but it's 90+% of all purchases through Amazon are made through that Buy Now button. It's commonly referred to as Buy Box, and as a new seller, you do not have access to Buy Box, meaning that you are missing out on 90% of the sales on Amazon. When people are looking to buy books, they don't necessarily care about Buy Box, and a lot of times the books don't have Buy Box because they can be books from 1980. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna click on more sellers, and then they'll see your book on there, and they'll just choose from you. You won't win Buy Box a lot of the times when you're a new seller. But if you want to know how you can win Buy Box, the actual limitations or requirements to winning Buy Box or being able to win Buy Box is unknown, but there has been a lot of speculations, and it basically is that you have to be selling for 90+ days. So you have to sell on Amazon for 3 months. That should be easy to do with books. You have to have good seller metrics, obviously, like a low return rate and all that stuff like that. You have to have good feedback. That screwed me over. You just have to have a good Amazon account. And let me tell you, I did not know the power of Buy Box when I began. I was going heavy into online arbitrage. I bought about $4,000 worth of clippers one time when I was beginning, but I didn't have access to Buy Box. I was literally just switching from eBay to Amazon. And I had $4,000 worth of clippers and they weren't selling. I was the lowest price. Sometimes I was even the lowest price by $5. I was undercutting because I was so scared that these $4,000 worth of clippers weren't selling. And you know what? They actually never ended up selling on my account. I had to give them to a friend and he had to sell them for me and then pay me out at the end of the month. But I would have been screwed if I didn't know anybody else that sold on Amazon. Dumb mistake by me because I didn't have Buy Box. But you live and you learn. And I don't want you guys to make that same exact mistake, so make sure that your account is in good standing. Make sure that you can actually win Buy Box when you make big purchases for retail and online arbitrage or even wholesale. And by the way, the reason I didn't win Buy Box was because my feedback was terrible at the time. I think I had 60 or less % positive feedback because I was just terrible at grading the books and just doing quality control on them. And I got a lot of Karens in the beginning, screwed me over. I began my first review was a 2-star review, and that really declined my sales for a few months. But we came back even stronger. We bought a subscription service that sent out emails every time a customer received the item, basically asking them to send positive feedback. And then slowly over time, while I kept making sales, I was actually able to win Buy Box. And I remember the day that I won Buy Box because I was getting $40 a day, and then all of a sudden I have a $4,000 day. So Buy Box seriously changes the way you sell on Amazon. That's why you have to start with selling books so that you're able to unlock Buy Box, able to grow your Amazon account, able to get the metrics up, get the positive feedback so that you can branch off into other business models. And also, when you begin on Amazon, you're going to be gated in a lot of brands. You may watch videos like Reezy Resells where he walks into the Nike store outlet, buys a bunch of Nike shoes, and then sells them on Amazon for a huge profit. Sadly, you can't do that when you're a new seller. You're going to be gated on Nike, but you know what you're not gated on? Books. You can sell used books, and a lot of them you aren't going to be gated on unless they're like textbooks or some like brand like DC Comics. You can sell pretty much any book used. And actually, when your account metrics are better, like when you reach $100,000 in sales and more and stuff, you're able to actually auto-ungate for a lot of brands. So if your selling metrics are really good, then maybe you can try to apply to get ungated for Amazon, and they'll accept you. But if you're a new seller, you won't be able to do that right off the bat, and that's why I'm saying you should start by selling books. Heck, even I want to go into wholesale and private label deep, far down in the future. But I'm just having fun right now with retail and online arbitrage. Like, I'm doing well, so I'm going to keep doing it. But trust me, I would not be where I am today if I didn't begin selling books. If you guys want to know more about selling books, check out Reezy Resells on YouTube. Learned everything from him, but also I have some of my older videos on my channel right here about me selling books and my whole journey that lasted a few months until I finally got into online and retail arbitrage, but I learned a lot. I recommend you guys do it. Thank you for sticking to the end. My name is Austin Hustles. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'm out. Later.